Hi, fellow South Africans. I am Kayla and today we are talking about applying for a Chinese working visa, also known as a Z visa. When applying for the visa, you will need 3 documents that will be notarized, authenticated, and legalized. Our 3 documents are the police clearance form, also known as a criminal background check, your degree, and your TEFL certificate. All 3 of these documents have 3 steps before applying for your working visa. The police clearance form is quite easy. You'll go to your police station, apply for it. It costs about 150 Rand and it takes 15 working days to get the form. The second step for the police form would be taking it to DIRCO in Pretoria. It is an online process. You will have to email an appointment, request an appointment, and then you have to send with the appointment confirmation form a copy of your ID and a copy of all the documents that you want to be legalized, as well as the originals. It's very important. That takes about 1 working day and it is free of charge. The third step would be taking your documents to the Chinese consulate or embassy. There you have to apply with an application form and you send a copy of all the documents as well as the originals with a copy of your ID. It's also free of charge and it takes about 4 working days for the documents to be legalized. Our second document is your degree. You would have to take it to SAQA, South African Qualifications Authority. It's also an online process where you have to request an appointment with SAQA. You email them and they will email you back a quotation. You have to pay the quotation and send the proof of payment with your quotation number and surname as a reference. They will let you know the moment your documents are ready and they will email you your verification letter as well as the copy of your stamped degree and in a PDF form. Those documents you can take to DIRCO, which is the second step, where it also starts with the online process and it takes about 1 working day and it is free of charge. SAQA takes about 20 working days and each fee is different. Mine was about 610 Rand. The third step would be taking that document from DIRCO and SAQA to the Chinese embassy where you will legalize it. It takes about 4 working days and it is free of charge. The last document is the TEFL certificate. The TEFL certificate has 2 different ways you can go. The one is if you have received the certificate from a company within South Africa, you can notarize and authenticate it within South Africa. You will start by taking it to a public notary where an attorney will sign and stamp a copy of the certificate stating that it is a true copy of the original. Then you'll take it to the High Court where they will verify the signed and stamped copy of the certificate that the attorney did. And then after that, you can take it to DIRCO, exactly the same process, and it takes about 1 working day free of charge. After that, the last step will be taking it to the Chinese embassy or consulate where they will legalize that document. It takes 4 working days and it is free of charge. That is the process in short. I will just go a little bit in depth when it comes to DIRCO. There are a few things that you need to know, which is very important. So there are 2 ways you can submit your documents to DIRCO. The first one would be submitting it in person, and the second one would be using a courier service. So when you do request an appointment with DIRCO, you have to send in a request form, and it looks like this, stating the number of documents you want to be legalized. So we would write down 3 because we would send our police clearance, our degree, and our TEFL all at once to DIRCO. Which country we want it to be used in, and that would be China. And why do we want to legalize it? Because we want to work in China. At the bottom, you have to select submission, and if you scroll down, you will see this submission form stating who would submit it or how you would submit it. You can select either individual, which would be in person, or by a courier company. And then here you have to tick off having a copy of your ID and then a copy of all the documents that you want to be legalized, because they have to stamp the copies. They cannot stamp the originals. You send with the originals a copy of all the documents. When using a courier service, you will have to send with the courier service a cover letter looking like this, stating your email address and the country where you would use the documents, which is China. The courier service needs this to submit the documents on your behalf. The moment your documents are ready for collection, DIRCO would email you and you have to arrange with your courier service to collect them for you. When you do that, the courier service needs to have a letter of authority. This is just saying that you're giving them the authority to collect the documents on your behalf. Here it will have the reference number that you would have received via email from DIRCO and DIRCO's address. If the courier service does not have this document, they cannot collect the documents on your behalf. Very important. When you submit your documents in person, you will just take the copies and the originals to the physical building. The moment you do that, you will receive a blue slip with a reference number on it. The moment that your documents are ready for collection, you have to bring the blue slip with in order to collect your documents. That is very important, otherwise you cannot collect your documents. Here is an example of my documents. Here is my original degree, and here is the documents from DIRCO. So it will look like this. It will have a green ribbon, a red stamp, and as you will see here at the back is the copy of my degree. So my original degree is safe, nothing is wrong with it. So that is DIRCO. Then I just want to show you, after you have submitted your documents to the Chinese consular embassy and you have collected them, they will all have a green stamp like this. This is very important because this is a China verification stamp. This will help you get your working visa. All three your documents have to have a green ribbon, a red stamp from DIRCO, and it has to have the Chinese green stamp from the Chinese embassy or consulate. You then have to scan each page of these documents and send it to your company in China. They will give you a notification letter for foreign workers. It's kind of like a working permit that will help you to get your Chinese visa. So when you apply for your Chinese visa, you can go to a Chinese Visa Application Service Center. There are 3 in South Africa, 1 in Cape Town, 1 in Johannesburg, and 1 in Durban. As I live in Cape Town, I went to the one in Long Street. You will need to fill in an application form that looks like this. And you will have your passport with you, a recent passport picture, and this notification letter from your Chinese company. You have to apply there and pay at least 800 Rand, and you need to pay by card. You will also receive a blue slip, and the moment your document is, or your passport is ready for collection, you bring with the blue slip and you can collect your document. That is how easy it is. Here is an example of mine. There is my passport, there is the Z for working visa, and this is how your passport will look if you have a working visa.